right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another WNBA playoff video. Today we have two game twos from last night, both from either side of the bracket. We have the Minnesota Lynx versus the Phoenix Mercury, and we have the Indiana Fever versus the Las Vegas Aces. My Las Vegas Aces, my favorite team in the WNBA. Both series are now uh, tied. Yes, tied at 1-1, 1-1. The first game I want to talk about is Mercury Lynx and what went wrong for the Lynx, and then we'll get to Aces Fever. If you like what I have to say, like the video. If you have any opinions, comment down below. And if you just like the vibes, consider subscribing. So right now, um, we're in a weird spot with this Mercury Lynx series. It looked like the Lynx were in full control of the series and this game for about, let's say, 24 minutes roughly, right? Of game time, I'm talking about. Um, I I'm grasping at straws at what went wrong during the course of this game. The final score was Phoenix Mercury 89 and the Minnesota Lynx 83. It was an overtime game, and there's the stuff on the court that went wrong, but there's also some stuff lingering with how serious this Lynx team is. And I haven't really hinted at it because I didn't think it'd be a problem. I thought they would come into this playoff run having been burned last year in the finals, having worked so hard to get to the finals last year, and then this year they would have a fire underneath them. They would really want to just flex their muscle. They swept the last series they were in versus the Golden State Valkyries. They came into this one a lot more experience on this Mercury team, a lot better matchups for the Mercury versus the Lynx. And the overwhelming majority of the reactions I saw online were this Lynx team needs to lock in. They can't take these teams lightly. This is the issue you run into in the other series as well, Aces versus Fever, where these higher seeded teams that feel like they should just run over the other teams. And I don't think I ever predicted that the Lynx would run over the Mercury. I thought this would be a 4 or 5 game series at most, right? And it is going to look. It looks like it is going to be that way. But this Lynx team has an issue where they get these big leads and they just can't. They can't covet them. They can't treasure those leads, and they don't. I don't think they think too hardly about it. That this oh my god, we have such a huge lead. We should just end the game right here in the third quarter. They let these teams sneak back in. They sneak back in a little bit, and last night they let the Mercury sneak back in to win the game, essentially. To talk about the Lynx, like I said, for about 28 minutes of game time, they played a beautiful game of basketball. You have was this one, two, three, four people in double digits. You didn't get a lot off the bench. The benches were cleared kind of at the end of the game. So if you do look at the box score, there are some people that played that actually didn't play. But a majority of their important players played. What is this? I guess like 15 plus minutes each. Obviously, the starters played above 30. Um, let's run through these. Let's run through these players here. Nafisa Collier, MVP runner up, 24 points, 2 blocks, 3 steals, 1 assist, 6 rebounds, 2 of 8 from three, 10 of 22. Sort of had a rough night um, down the stretch. Felt like she wasn't too confident in her bag, and she went to a lot of moves that she usually goes to throughout the course of the game in crunch time, trying to close out the game in regulation, and they just went falling. Um, and this is the thing that I'm gonna talk about here in a second is that the difference between an MVP runner-up and an MVP like Asia Wilson, and the runner-up being Nafisa Collier, is that Asia Wilson will kill you with force. Will end the game with force. Whether she gets the foul, whether the shot goes in under duress, it's whatever. Nafisa Collier is sort of one of those, I don't want to say old school players, but one of those more purposeful players in the sense of she knows I'm going to get to the spot, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna fake. I'm gonna do this, and the shot's gonna go in. And then when the shot's not going in, you do all that work just for it to be a nothing burger, is a bit disappointing. Um, the matchups they were throwing at her were very good. She did try to take advantage down the stretch of the switches she did get, the time she did get the smaller defender on her, and those post moves did work. The other times when she had somebody of equal length or equal size or equal strength or even more strength than her, they didn't go in. So that was a huge problem for them down the stretch. Kayla McBride, not her best game, but she was at least there. These are the games I beg Kayla McBride to have. She's a former ace. She used to play for the Las Vegas Aces many years ago. At this point, that 20 points, 3 assists, 1 steal, 4 of 8 from three, splitter threes, 8 of 15 overall. This is a Kayla McBride game. This is just a standard game for Kayla McBride, and I really can't be mad at her for not showing up because she did show up, I guess. Um, Other players, Alana Smith, co-defensive player of the year or just defensive player of the year, however you want to cut it. 13 points, 3 blocks, 5 assists, 9 rebounds, um, 1 of 3 from three, 6 of 9 overall from field goal. Jumped on a really bad shot from Sammy Whitcomb when the Mercury tied it. Not the best look for a defensive player of the year, but I think everybody would have jumped on that shot. We'll talk about that later. Um, Bridget Carlton, 2 points, 5 rebounds. Only got her points from the free throw line. Did not make a three, took 5 of them. Did not make a shot, took 7 of them in 41 minutes. Her defense was okay at times. It was okay. Um, there's been talk of, not talk, fans wanting Jessica Shepard to get a start. Um, and the response to that by other Fever fans was like Jessica Shepard doesn't guard anybody. At least Carlton at least attempts to try somebody, and Shepard doesn't try at all. Doesn't know what to do out there. I like Jessica Shepard too, but I see where those fans are coming from. And one of the biggest um, components of this loss, um, and somebody who I've questioned all season, and these are the situations I question her in. Courtney Williams, 20 points, um, 3 steals, 9 assists, 7 rebounds. You look at that stat line, you're like, oh, that's pretty good. That's nice. That's a nice stat line. And then you look at the other stats: 7 turnovers, 4 personal fouls, 0 of 3 from three, 9 of 19, splitter shots completely from field goal, 36 minutes. Um, Not great. Not a great night for Courtney Williams. Turnover machine. Um, as I've as I've called her, and as some other people have called her, Black Hole Williams, where when she gets in these modes, like she'll go on a stretch of like 3 4 minutes, or not 3 4 minutes, 2 3 minutes, where she just gets the ball and she's doing her move and she goes up and she shoots it and it doesn't go in, and then she does it again, and 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 you're just sitting there like, and sometimes like, okay, she'll miss a shot and somebody will get the rebound, they'll kick it back out there and then she'll swing it. Like maybe one out of every 3 shots that don't go in, she'll do that. But it looks bad. And you watch this and you shake your head and you're like, this, you're playing right into the other team's hands. And you're trying to be a hero when you just, and it's so hard to tell an athlete because athletes have to have this delusion of how great they are. But hey, Courtney, you're a role player. Chill out. Let somebody else get a look. Um, and they really didn't get anything off the bench. Um, there's only one person off the bench who scored a point, and that was Jessica Shepard with 3. No, no, Natisha Heidemann night. No, no, nothing off the bench to be quite honest. And that was the problem. And I think these benches in these playoff moments just get so short, and especially in the WNBA where you just don't. If you don't have a 6 woman of the year, and Natisha Heidemann is supposed to be that 6 woman of the year, or if you don't bring one of your starters off the bench, then you really don't have anything to go off of, and you have to deal with the hungrier and the more battle tested, even individually, Phoenix Mercury. This Lynx group has only been successful the last couple years, versus a team like the Mercury, who have Alyssa Thomas, who have Kalia Copper, who have Dewana Bond, who really didn't play well last night, but was okay. Have what year is Sammy Whitcomb in? I feel like she's a newer player, but she might be. Um, no, 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 no. She's newer to me. She's not newer to you guys. She's 37 years old. Yeah. Okay. I knew I saw her around. I didn't know. She looks young. We'll put it that way. But individually, this Phoenix Mercury team has been together for a lot shorter than the Lynx, but individually, this team as players is battle tested. Alyssa Thomas, very successful WNBA NBA player. Kalia Copper, a champion, recent champion as well, like very recent. Dewana Bonner, I believe champion as well. Been around a lot. Sammy Whitcomb been around a lot. And then you have the younger players. Satu Sabali, who had a really good night last night. Not She was chucking up shots, but man, sometimes they were going in and they went in at the right time, and you were like, hey, just keep going for it. Just keep going. As long as you hit them when we need them, and you're not taking stupid shots when we don't need them, good for you. Um, this team wants it more, man. And I was thinking about this when I was watching the game. I was very skeptical of this Mercury team, but I knew they had talent, and I knew if they got going at the right time, they'd be able to do something special. And I'm not saying they're gonna go to the finals. I think the Lynx will go to the finals. My prediction since the first round after the upsets was Aces Lynx or Aces somebody. And this Mercury team looked like a championship level team last night. 19 points for Alyssa Thomas, 13 rebounds, or 13 assists, 8 rebounds, four turnovers, 3 personal fouls. Probably one of her better nights, considering how tough the defense was at times. 6 of 15, hit some really great shots in overtime, really great shots in overtime. Satu Sabali, um, 24 points, one assist, 9 rebounds, 4 personal fouls. Not great. This team likes to foul. I think the Lynx should punish them for that, but it's whatever. 5 of 11, took 11 threes, which is crazy. Nobody on. Yeah, but she was chucking them up there, yeah. I mean, Kale McBride and Nafisa Kali are close to 10, but Satu Sabali of the Mercury shot 11 of them and made 5 of them. 9 of 22. Hit a really hit. I think it was it 2 threes? I think it might have been 2 threes down in clutch time to get the game closer in order for them to go to overtime and then capture the win. 9 of 22. Kalia Copper dealing with an injury during the course of this game. Played 33 minutes still. Hit a big three in the corner. Only one of two of the threes she made. She took 5 of them in total. 8 points, 3 assists. Again, battle tested. Kalia Copper, man. Um, just an insane quiet night. And then she just showed up when it mattered. And that's exactly who you need on these teams. Who else is out here? Sammy Whitcomb hit the big shot. I guess we should talk about Sammy Whitcomb. Um, After a broken play from the Mercury, it looked like they were about to go home, down 2-0. Um, the broken play, the Lynx get a rebound. They swing the ball. They're swinging, and it swings. And the Lynx are out, man. They have two below. They have one in the corner, one in the close corner, and then they have a double going in the at the by the hash mark on the court. And then it swings again. I don't think the Lynx thought they would swing it again. And the Lynx had a foul to give, and they should have fouled when the Lynx got the rebound. But when the Mercury got the rebound, the Lynx should have fouled. They swing it around, the Mercury do, to the far corner, to the bench side where the benches are and everything. Sammy Whitcomb's wide open. Defensive player of the year. Um, Alana Smith is she's like sprinting over, and then she like half stops to like get the contest. And then Sammy pump fakes. Alana Smith goes, oh, and she jumps on it, and then Sammy Whitcomb hits the three to take it to overtime. Um, Amazing shot from Sammy. 3 of 9 overall, 5 of 13 overall from field goal, 13 points, only 2 turnovers, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Was very crucial for this team, and she's becoming a player that I think the Lynx need to start they need to start game planning for, because I have a feeling that if this goes five, Sammy Whitcomb is going to be an issue for this Lynx team. Um, and do you have any other thoughts about this heading back to Phoenix for 2 games? Um, as I'm going to say with Aces Fever, um, game three, first game in Phoenix for the Lynx. Um, it's a must-win game. It's a must-win. You cannot lose the first game at their house. You need to go in there, do what they did to you, or do what they did to you in the sense of win a game at their house. But if the Lynx lose game three, I think the Mercury are probably going to the finals. I think these first games at home are so important. And hey, if you lose the game because of a foul or because of whatever, fine. Just make it a close game. Make it a competitive game. Don't let them blow you out. Don't get too in over your head. Just make it competitive. Make it like this game at their house. Exactly this. If you go to overtime and you lose, fine. Hey, you did what you could do. If you if you get absolutely blown out, there's blood in the water, and then you're screwed. That is it for this series. Tied 1-1 yet again. Um, Now we move to a somewhat uncompetitive game, but also kind of competitive. Um, we move on to um, Aces Fever in Las Vegas, the last game in Las Vegas, unless the Aces can force a game five. The final score 90 for the Aces and 68 for the Fever. It is tied 1-1. And this game was um, very competitive, but not in the way you thought it would be. In the sense of, it never felt like the Aces were comfortable. In partly because the threes that the Fever were hitting, the fouls the Fever were getting, and at times it would feel like a build was starting to swell for the Fever, and it never did this game. But every time like the Aces would, I think at one point the Aces turned the ball over like 3 times in a row down the court, on the offensive end, and it was so deflating, and it felt like, oh man, if the Fever win this game, it's gonna be because of this run right here. But the Aces put the kibosh on it. They didn't allow the Fever to get in their head. They didn't allow them to get. I was saying this at the course of the game, watching. I was like, yo, just keep it +10. If you keep it +10 to +10 points, you're okay. Then you can calm yourself down. If they get within 10 and it's like under 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you're going to run into problems. That wasn't a problem though. Talking about the Aces, the big hitters this game. Jackie Young, even though she was in foul trouble, Melissa Smith, Asia Wilson, Chelsea Gray in moments. Chelsea Gray is really good at controlling the pace of this game. 10 assists, 6 points for Chelsea Gray. Um, some really like jaw dropping dimes from the point guard, Chelsea Gray. Jackie Young, 13 points. Really, I've been talking about her rebounding all postseason. Her rebounding was great this game, even though she only had five. 5 assists, 2 of 5 from three, 11 for 5 from field goal. The MVP, Asia Wilson, 25 points, um, 9 rebounds, 5 steals, 2 blocks, only 1 foul, um, 9 rebounds, 1 of 1, made her 1 3 she attempted. Um, 10 of 18 overall. A really inspired game from Asia Wilson. A really, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. We're not going to let you go up 2-0 kind of game. Like she told the Fever, hey, yo, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa. You're not going up 2-0. Not in my house. You can have game one. Game one, you got the jump on us. Game two, we'll prepare for you. We know what you like to do. Here's what I can do to you guys, sort of game. And the biggest component of this win, and somebody who I was very confused on the trade at the time, but the midseason trade for Melissa Smith is looking like it's paying off, and it's paid off for at least one good game, one great game for Melissa Smith against the Fever in a playoff series and a must-win game. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 assist, 7 of 9. Just being around the paint on both sides was a huge plus for her. She was really engaged. It felt like she was engaged in the offense for one of the first times. and they let Alyssa Smith go to work at times. They let her, you know, um, get to the basket, do a couple dribbles, pump fake, move, all that stuff. And it was a really welcome sight. The team really needed it. Off the bench, Jewel Lloyd 10, Dana Evans 10, also very much needed. Some buckets in there were like, okay, now we've padded the lead by 12, by 13, by 14, 15, and it gradually went up by then. The Fever never gave up though. Asia Wilson was out there in the game till about 4 minutes left in the fourth. She did get a lot of rest at the end of the third, so it did make sense. But you could tell Coach Becky Hammond wanted to keep Asia Wilson in there just in case any crazy stuff happened in the final couple minutes of this game. But this was a really good game. My biggest fear of this series is that the Fever have these next two games at home, and if they can dictate the pace in Las Vegas, they're definitely going to try to dictate the pace in Indiana in front of the home crowd and try to embarrass this Aces team. And that's the scariest part about um, the Aces playing this Fever team is the Aces. This is the only game it's ever felt like they've dictated the pace. I know it's been two games, but this is the only game it felt like they dictated the pace. And I don't feel like they can duplicate this on the road. I feel like, again, the Aces are going to have to win this first game away in Indiana. And if they don't, it's going to spell trouble. Um, this Fever team is strangely competitive. Um, their fans are crazy. They play at this pace that's just so it's awkward. It's a weird place to be in the sense of the Aces know they're better. They are the better team. They have the MVP. But they can't just seem to get a grasp on this series and just like shake the Fever around. The Fever are constantly just coming at them, and the Aces just don't have the legs for it. One, this team isn't relatively young; they're actually kind of oldish, and they are a bigger team as well. So the size and the age really doesn't play into the positive factors for this team, and it plays more into the Fever's hands. So those are the things I'm worried about. But this game, if I would be so surprised if the Aces can duplicate this exact sort of game on the road, and I hope it's in game one. It's in game three at home, at Indiana's place. Because man, if you let this Indiana Fever go up 2-1, man, I'm gonna be worried. I was worried last night, and specifically, I was worried last night about Lexi Hull. Lexi Hull had like a career nights in the playoffs. 15 points, shot the same shot from like the same position on the court like three times in a row, and the Aces were just like, "I'll let her have it," and she made all of them. Ridiculous. 11 took 11 threes, made five of them, 5 of 16 overall. Almost all her shots were threes. She was doing a bad back. So shout out to Lexi Hull, even though I like her as a player. I don't like her right now because she's on the other team and I'm an Aces fan. But she 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 was doing the and that's the other thing about the series is that the the Aces are keep trying to shrink the floor, and they try to double every post player on the Fever, and it's like, yo, stop. Let Asia Wilson deal with it. You got to get on the shooters because that's how this Fever team is going to beat this Aces team as well as the shooting. Not that they make all their threes, that they're just going to take them. And the Aces are just so far deep sucked into the paint sometimes. I saw it with Jewel Lloyd. I saw it with Jackie Young like two or three times. I even saw it with Asia Wilson where she would just get sucked into the paint and she would get out on Leah Boston, but man, it was just so infuriating. And they the Aces did a great job of containing Kelsey Mitchell as well, who dominated the first game. Only 13 points for Kelsey Mitchell, 5 assists, 3 fouls, 3 turnovers, 1 of 6 from three, 4 of 14. This is another big component. If they can stop Kelsey Mitchell for one more game in Indiana, you're golden. You're golden. You're golden. Because the Aaliyah Boston Asia Wilson battle is just they're gonna negate each other out, or Asia Wilson's gonna have the slight edge just because Asia Wilson's more experienced in these situations. Ossie Simmons was also huge for the Fever. 18 points, 7 assists, 1 of 2 from three, 7 of 12. Really good in the paint, really good at pushing the pace, really good at being an annoyance. Um, that's partly why the Aces were collapsing on a lot of these drives, and the Fever would kick it back out, and they would get a shooter open, and they take it, would they make it, hit or miss, but it's all right. Aaliyah Boston, a cool double double, 10 points, 13 rebounds. Three personal fouls, three turnovers, 5 of 9. I think Boston's having a tough series. She's having to give a lot on defense, and I do feel bad for her, but that's what you get when you draw the assignment of a four-time MVP. 6 points for Natasha Howard, and not a lot off the bench. A lot of energy off the bench, but not a lot of actual stats off the bench for this Fever team this game. So we'll see what happens in Indiana for game 3. I am very worried as an Aces fan. I'm super worried. I'm always pessimistic when it comes to my teams, but man, this Fever team is just so annoying. They're just so annoying. I would be so annoyed if I was an Aces player, that we let one get away when we could be up 2-0 right now. We let one get away. And now you're going to have to win in Indiana, which is going to be hard. Um, anyway, that's it. That's the video. I did make an Asia Wilson MVP video yesterday. If you want to check that out, I'll put a card in the top right corner. It will take you right to the video. Check that out. I talk about the Sandy Brondello firing from New York in that video as well, right at the end. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.